It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Okay, and I guess we're gonna start. Ready? 3. Oh yeah. I like starting with an AO. Okay. Yeah. Heyo, we're here. We're back with another episode of the Hotel Motel podcast. I'm Emily Motill, and I'm here with
Colin Motill.
Wow, so great. It's like we're related.
The mic right there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Colin, for your big contributions. So we're here another week, big week for the motels. I would like to say, one, spring training started. We just need to.
Important.
I think
Juan Soto, home
it's an
run,
important,
first at bat.
Important day. We just need to mark it down in history. What day did that happen, Colin?
That was on Saturday, which was the 24th, 23rd, 22nd.
Okay, it's a big day. Mark it down.
February 22nd.
Everywhere.
25. Juan Soto.
Noted. Yep. And then also on Sunday, we had the SAG Awards. We'll get into that. But right now, Colin, I know you want to talk to me about you're my go-to nerd. You're my go-to guy. Yes. I call him up. I text him. I say, does this mean anything?
Some big nerd news this week.
Tell me.
Well, I guess the first big thing we got to talk about is DC. Okay. James Gunn, Peter Safran, they're the co-CEOs, co-chairmans, whatever you want to call it, of DC Studios now. And there was a big article in the Hollywood Reporter. I guess there was like a press junket on Friday or whatever where they just gave like an update on
Colin, I'm so proud of you for using PR terms.
I know what a junket is.
Okay,
sorry. Miss works in PR, trying to gatekeep the dictionary and the words I can use.
I'm just so proud. Okay, continue. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
So they talked to the press just about how DC's doing. So it's been, I guess, roughly 2 years since, I don't know if you remember this. I think you remember this. The James Gunn video where he was like, this is the DC plan. Then now that I'm in charge, here's the plan. We're making a Superman movie. We're making a Supergirl movie.
It's basically his like DC when the Marvel people dropped the timeline of phase XYZ.
Yeah, so he called it like chapter 1, and he gave it like even like the subtitle Gods and Monsters, which means nothing, by the way. It's just like this is all just to get fanboys hyped like 2 years ago. Like the plan is a lot different now. Like they filmed Superman. It's in post-production now. It's coming out this summer. They're in or halfway through production on Supergirl is what they revealed. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's starring Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon. So she's Supergirl.
Who does she play?
She is young Rhaenyra from the first season.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love her. Okay,
yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to be a really good Supergirl, actually. And so that's halfway through production. The Lanterns HBO series is about to start filming this week with Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler. And then they announced this newly. This wasn't on the original slate, but they're making a Clayface movie, Batman villain Clayface. And it's they're going to make it a body horror, low budget movie with the Speak No Evil director, Mike Flanagan, he wrote like those Netflix horror shows like Fall of the House of Usher, and I forget the other ones right now.
Was he like the 1770 guy that did all those?
Not Fear Street, if that's what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But he also did the Dr. Sleep movie, so he's like kind of like a horror guy. He's working on, I think, a Friday the 13th reboot right now, so that's why he's not directing. But he wrote a really great script. He turned it to James Gunn, and James Gunn was like, "Oh, we'll make this." So I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing. What else? Peacemaker Season 2 is happening, but they also gave some updates on some other projects that aren't necessarily doing so well development-wise. One of them being the Batman and the Batman situation with Robert Pattinson. Right. Will he, won't he be the Batman of this new DC universe with Horns Wet as Superman? And so they're still saying no. They're still saying they're going to make a new Batman. The Brave and the Bold is what they're calling it. And this is what they keep saying it's going to be, is that it's going to be a Batman with his son Damian Wayne, who is Robin, and so it'll be like at least different than Pattinson, and it'll be connected to the other movies or whatever. But they didn't reveal who's writing the movie. James Gunn said he is close to the writer, so he knows how important the movie is. Theoretically, they've said the director is supposed to be the Flash director, Andy Muschietti, which is weird.
So successful, the Flash movie.
Yeah, so like at the time when that was kind of like revealed that he would be directing this, it seemed like it was kind of like okay, we owe you one because you handled the Flash production, which was a shit show, and we don't blame you. It's kind of like we'll keep you on. We actually like you. It's not your fault kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then in this article from the Hollywood Reporter, it says, oh yeah, like once there's a script, Muschietti is going to be the first person to see it, but they kind of downplayed him directing, so it kind of came off a little like, all right, he's probably not going to direct it. I don't know what's going on there. Very weird. Then other little bits just about David Zaslav and how he's really committed to what they're doing at DC, which is interesting.
That's good.
They're really pushing
knowing
Superman,
David Zaslav.
kind of like what I said to you when the Superman trailer came out. I think that this year is going to be just like Barbie. It's going to be their big year of Superman push, and I feel like we've seen a bit of that so far.
Yeah,
but we'll get more of it. But some interesting little tidbits. I still think that they're eventually going to make Pattinson the DC Batman.
Batman is just so successful, and even all the awards and the accolades of the Penguin TV show has kind of helped it.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of stay like that universe to be like, we'll just work it in. It's almost too complicated to redo it, right?
And like, I feel like you can get away with it where you just like, I think the appeal of like Superman and Batman crossing over to me always has been that they're just like very polar opposites, where like Batman is in like this dark, gloomy Gotham, and Superman's in this like retro futuristic metropolis, and he can fly and he has superpowers, and Batman is just a dude with tools and stuff like that. So like you can make it where it's like, oh yeah, Gotham over here is this weird, Matt Reeves universe, but then outside of that is this James Gunn-esque metropolis or whatever. Like, who cares?
Right.
So,
like, it doesn't really need to cross over to then set up 10 movies in the future kind of thing.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, would you be open to it being Pattinson and it just like not being like a sequel to those movies? Like, what if those movies are their own trilogy that Pattinson goes back to, but he also plays the DC Universe Batman?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I actually would prefer that because I think not like it's kind of like Nolan's Batman where there's put on such a pedestal and they're so separate from everything, which is kind of what's happening with, not that we don't know what's going to happen in the next 3, but I just think it's so confusing for the average person. How many times have we rebooted Batman? How many times have I been like, all right, this is a Ben Affleck Batman, but this is a Robert Pattinson Batman. Like, it's confusing. So I think just to keep it simple is the best way to go.
It is. It's a tough one, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, to incorporate this other universe. And like, I guess James Gunn has said like DC is committed to doing Elseworlds. They call it Elseworlds, like movies not in the universe of their connected universe, whatever, which I think is great.
Word.
Well, it's a comics thing. DC Elseworlds. It's like whatever. So
Ew.
It's just branding. It doesn't matter. But like, I like the concept of like DC just being like, oh yeah, he turned in a great script for Clayface, so we're making a Clayface movie. It's not just building towards something. Although in this article they did say in 6 years we're building towards an Avengers Endgame kind of crossover event or whatever. And it's just like, I'm hoping that's just them kind of like talking out of their ass and just like trying to keep fans on the hook kind of thing. Because I really don't care for that, or at least a crossover that big of this scale. But
yeah,
they'll eventually do it Justice League, I'm sure.
Okay. And what about your new favorite, not your new favorite, another nerd news, Star Wars, the only show / movie that Star Wars and Lucasfilms is hanging their hat on.
Yes.
They have nothing else to live for, really.
So, of course, we're talking about Andor.
Yes.
And in the new trailer for season 2, which comes out like sneaky soon, I think like April,
Great. Add it to a list of all the TV shows that are coming out right now that I'm watching.
I think it's dropping the day that Daredevil ends on Disney Plus. They usually try and like keep you on the hook that way.
Wait, when is Daredevil coming out?
Like right after, I think in a week or something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like early March or something like that.
Oh, was that what? I guess that's why he's doing press. Okay.
I'm rewatching Daredevil, the Netflix show, which is now on Disney Plus, so whatever. But I've just been like skimming through it because season 2 has a bunch of like the Punisher and John Bernthal's returning for the new show.
Yeah.
So I'm just like skimming through his scenes, and now I'm like fully locked into season 3, which I think is one of the best superhero seasons of television. Any show, whatever. It is. I encourage anyone who is interested in Daredevil at all. Emily, I'm telling you, you could theoretically, if you wanted to, just jump in and watch season 3, and there will be like a couple things where it's like I think it's set like right after the Defenders crossover on Netflix. So I think the beginning of the first episode is like a little confusing, but other than that, it's just like, yeah, he got fucked up, he's injured, he got revived, I think, and now he's on the up, and you could just jump in. It's a great singular story, and I think if you're interested in watching Daredevil Born Again, I think there are some things that are going to connect from that. So,
is Born Again going to pick up? Now we're on the Daredevil tangent. Yeah. Sorry, is Daredevil going to pick up right where the show left off?
I think so. Well, not right where it left off, but there's going to be like a time jump, and we've seen Daredevil a couple times, and like Spider-Man and Echo and whatever.
Oh, he was in that? Didn't watch it. So
yeah, no one watched it. He has a very brief scene that they tried to convince people to watch the show, so they would be like, "Oh, Daredevil's in it." He's also in She-Hulk, where he like
didn't finish that
he had a one-night
either.
stand with She-Hulk. I wonder if that gets brought up or not.
That's actually hilarious.
Oh yeah, he does the walk of shame in his full Daredevil costume. It's actually really funny. The She-Hulk show
hilarious.
Gets a lot of shit, mostly unfairly. It's not a great show, but it is kind of funny. I kind of enjoy
hilarious. It. That's hilarious.
But okay, we're circling back. We're staying on topic.
Yeah.
Andor, new trailer. The trailer is really funny because it's just fully Disney flaunting, like fully glazing their own show. Like this is the prestige show of this. Like I forget what the title cards say in the trailer itself, but it's so there's like a title card every like 15 seconds of like this show is the greatest thing I've ever seen or whatever. But I can't blame them because I agree, and they got to promote their show, whatever. So, I don't know. Did you watch the trailer?
No.
I figured.
Well, I have a confession to make.
Don't tell me you didn't watch Andor Season 1.
I never finished it.
How far into it did you get? Did you get to Andy Serkis?
I think so.
No. You don't understand. You would know if you got to Andy Serkis because it's like the moment in the show where everyone's honestly, like, this is emotional, I'm crying, this is amazing.
Okay, so was it like The Last of Us episode 3 kind of vibes?
Not in that way necessarily, but it is like you're emotionally attached to these characters. So the whole Andor thing, I don't know if you remember, is that it was kind of
3 episodes.
Yeah, so every 3 episodes of Andor season 1 was its own like kind of contained story. So it was set it was split into 3 episode chunks or 3 episode like chapters as they're calling it. And so what Disney Plus is doing, evidently, is they're releasing it 3 chapters every week for 4 weeks. So it's 12 episodes, 3 episodes per week. So you're basically getting an Andor movie every week for 4 weeks.
Wow.
I like it.
Yeah, it's different.
It's definitely different. We've seen people like drop 3 episodes for like the beginning of a season and then go weekly. But I like this.
Me too.
But the interesting other Star Wars bit.
It.
Yeah, you can do. No, Andor is generationally great in like not just from a Star Wars perspective, from just a television perspective. It's
maybe I'll watch it. I'll watch it this week.
Please do.
Okay.
But interesting Star Wars development is that Kathleen Kennedy said yesterday, or I think she didn't say it, but it's being reported that she's set to retire at the end of this year. She's the Lucasfilm president. this is obviously a big deal because a lot of toxic fanboys have been calling for her resignation for many, many years. So, some of the criticism is fair, where like the Star Wars movies of the past decade, the new trilogy, whatever, kind of was a failure. At least, I mean, maybe not commercially. Commercially, it was very
like
successful.
Looking back, yeah.
And like the Star Wars brand is kind of at its lowest right now, where like they put out a lot of garbage shows that nobody watched or whatever. Like, remember Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh, I remember Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Hot Anakin.
But I also want to mention that she did, like, Kathleen Kennedy is an all-timer. Like, she produced, you know, Indiana Jones with Spielberg back in the day, and E.T. Like, she got this job because she's an all-timer. So a lot of the shit she gets, which is mostly just like sexist trolls or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much is misogynistic?
Oh, it's Star Wars is the most toxic fan base of any franchise ever, by far, by a lot. They put, what was it? I forget the actress's name, who plays the villain in the Obi-Wan show. It's a black woman, and she got so much hate online just for being a black woman in space or whatever. There was no rhyme or reason for it. And obviously there was the whole Mary Sue thing with Rey, where everyone was like, she's so overpowered. And that was just basically them saying they don't like a woman doing what Luke Skywalker could do, kind of thing.
Interesting.
So Kathleen Kennedy's kind of the face of everything that the sexist trolls hate or whatever.
Right.
So this has been coming for a long time, basically. They've been calling for her to retire or to step aside for a long time. And, like, I think she stayed on in part because it would be giving into those trolls. And
she wants to leave on her own terms.
And
you go, girl.
She's going out on
Queen.
Andor, you know, this is, like, the only Star Wars thing that's coming out this year. Obviously, she still, like, produced, like, there's the upcoming Mandalorian movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, that finished shooting, so she's gonna be a producer on that.
Forgot about that. Forgot about that show.
Next summer,
all together. Yeah.
Everyone forgot about the Mandalorian, which is like their biggest crime because it was like such a big hit initially for them, and they just immediately tanked it. So that's quite sad, but it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where Star Wars goes. But that is my nerd update.
Great. Well, thank you, Colin, for your nerd update. Speaking of TV shows, and I mean how I said that I have a lot of TV shows on my plate, I just need to run through the shows that I'm watching during the week. Okay. This is the timeline for Emily Motill's
You're much more
viewing
of a TV
schedules.
person than me, so this is helpful for me.
Well, it's also like there's a lot of really good TV on right now. I mean, I'm a Bravo person. I love reality TV. It's kind of like my escape. I love going to the movies. I'm more of like I would rather go to the movies, but at home watch TV kind of person. Except for last night when I put on The Sound of Music. So, okay. Tuesdays is Beverly Hills. Wednesdays, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sorry. Okay. So let's go back. Monday.
I thought you were talking about 90210.
No, actually.
That's a reference that I shouldn't have made because I've never seen 90210, but continue.
Okay, Colin, who stars in 90210? Okay. Monday,
is there an answer to that? Wait, who stars in that?
Yes, there is.
Is it someone famous? Presumably.
Yes.
All right, who is it?
It's,
And there it is.
It'll come to me. Can we we're going back to Emily's TV schedule.
Wait. We got to fact check in the comments. Leave a comment down below. Tell us.
She's blonde, and she was in Girls 5 Eva. That's all I know. Okay. And the name will come to me later in the show.
Google it.
And I'm going to randomly just shout her name out when we're talking about Oscar picks later. I can feel it. Okay, anyway. Monday, Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Okay. Tuesday, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Wednesday, Summer House. Big. Summer House is big. Okay. Then Thursday, we have Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality premieres.
And this is all
Friday,
reality.
That's all reality.
Okay.
Thursday night, Severance. Friday, Love is Blind. Thursday night, the new Netflix show called Running Point with Kate Hudson. It's basically based on Jeannie Buss. It has a lot of big people in it, big
Yeah, I
characters
saw
in
the
it.
ad for that for the first time at the SAG Awards, and I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. Thursday, The Pit, new episodes of The Pit come out. So got to watch that too. Then, so that's all Friday. So, Love is Blind, Friday. I'm missing something. There's something else.
White Lotus.
Oh, Kardashians are in there as well. Abbott Elementary is in there as well, but I watch those whenever I can. Saturday, nothing really. Sunday, White Lotus. But now we're gonna add like Daredevil and
Yeah, if you catch
all
up,
of these
or if you
things.
watch some Daredevil.
Yeah,
I hope you
but
watch Daredevil.
I will. I probably will. But Sundays, White Lotus, HBO Sundays are back, and we need to discuss.
Oh yeah, so I finally caught up on White Lotus. I actually watched the first 2 episodes this morning.
Wow. Okay,
yeah, I know,
fresh.
little morning
What'd you think?
binge. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like I like this show. I always really liked the White Lotus.
Me too.
Season 2, obviously, it was like a grander scale, like in Italy, and like they left the residents more.
Yeah, it was Sicily. Yeah.
But I like where the story is building. I like that there's the mystery element to it. But also, I'm very content with like not caring about the mystery and kind of just like hang out with these characters who are all shitty, and there's always something going on, and so it's just entertaining.
Yeah. And like the robbery, but everyone just kind of like, it's like not that big of a deal in this episode, which is hilarious. And Greg coming back.
Yes, so
Walter Goggins is amazing.
I when they first showed Greg, I was like, I had forgotten who he was, but then they showed him again later in the second episode or whatever, and I was like, aha, I figured it out. I remember him.
Greg.
Yes, but I love this cast. I really like the trio of women: Michelle Monaghan, Leslie Bibb, and Carrie Coon. I think all of them together are great. So that's really fun that they're together.
Also, the way that he writes women's dialogue, Mike White, is so funny because it's so true. Because it's like little digs, but it's like, I love her so much, but like I'm concerned. And I was like, oh my God, this is literally how women talk. How does he know this?
Bibb turning back and forth and like talking to Carrie Coon against Michelle Monaghan. I thought that was really fun.
It's not like we're talking shit. It's like we're being considerate, but we're still. Yeah, exactly. I loved it.
Patrick Schwarzenegger's really great.
Oh my God, it's the perfect casting for him.
Really great. Very funny. So weird and off-putting and disgusting and just perfect for this.
Okay, so I have a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
As I was listing off all my Bravo reality TV that I watch, obviously proving that I'm a Bravo expert, Mike White told the whole Southern family, like Patrick Schwarzenegger, the kids, the dad who is Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter, Colin.
Jason
yeah, they told them to all watch Southern Charm on Bravo and to get inspiration from their characters from this Bravo TV show.
Okay.
That's 10 seasons long, and it brings me so much joy to know that Patrick Schwarzenegger sat down and watched all 10 episodes, probably not all 10 seasons of Southern Charm and said, hey, Shep, you're my guy. I'm going to imitate you on the White Lotus and just crank it up 10 notches. Really makes me happy. Also, another fun fact. I don't know if I told you this. You know the manager of the hotel?
Yeah, that's the guy from The Zone of Interest.
Oh, damn it. That blew my mind. That like that fun fact blew my mind.
I could tell right away. I just saw it in his face.
You could tell right away?
Yeah. You could see it in his face. I know it's different hair, but
he's doing you could see it in his face. I mean, I noticed that he looked familiar, but
yeah. I'm also like an IMDb scroller. So like,
so you popped
I recognized him.
him.
I knew it was from the Zone of Interest, but I went to IMDb to confirm it, and I was correct.
So crazy that he's that guy.
And so they're bringing back the woman from the first season as well. So I wonder if that's going to be some sort of big I mean, obviously the Greg connection. There's something
Right.
there. So,
And she like kind of remembers him.
I feel like Parker Posey is giving a very similar performance to Jennifer Coolidge, and I wonder if that's going to come full circle in some degree. Don't know.
What do you mean, like accent, or like that she's on drugs,
or she's Jennifer Coolidge's sister or something stupid?
Oh.
And I don't know. There's always some sort of grander reason why they're all here. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's good. I love that Sunday nights are back.
Yes.
Also, a big thing that I left off my TV schedule that is a very big deal for Emily is my Thursday night Traders, which you are not watching.
You're telling me to watch, but it's a competition show.
It's a competition show. Alan Cummings is the host, and he like plays this huge, character guy. It's very campy, but it's kind of where you have 3 traitors and you murder people, and then you can banish a traitor or banish a faithful, and you don't know who's a traitor or who's faithful. It's really fun. And it's really fun. There's a lot of reality TV stars. There's Big Brother, Survivor, all of these people playing this competition reality show. But the big news is we're 2 episodes before the finale. The big news is that Danielle, who is a traitor this season, that everyone hates. If someone says to you, Colin, are you watching The Traitors? All you need to say is, ugh, Danielle sucks.
Okay, Danielle sucks.
Yeah. She's a traitor. And she just got out her other traitor, and everyone was like really mad about it watching the show.
What a bitch.
And exactly. That's the energy I need. Thank you. Okay. Cheat code. You don't even need to watch it. But apparently you like the stuff that's not shown on air. So apparently not on air, Danielle was swearing on her kids and her grandkids that she was not a traitor to every single person on the cast. Everyone was like, oh my God, she's like playing this game when the cameras aren't up. She's definitely not a traitor. And then apparently there's a rumor that she broke her NDA and told another player that she was a traitor, which I don't know if it's true. I only heard it once. But that goes against the whole show. So we will see what happens on Thursday, but I'm very excited, and I need you to watch it.
No, you can keep me updated, I think. What? Then we can have a weekly Traders update, and then I could listen, and you can tell me more about Danielle, and how she's.
And you need to know Dylan Efron is also on the show, and you can be like, Dylan, I love him.
Dylan
Efron.
Related to Zach.
And then yes, it's his brother.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And then there's an iconic moment where Bob the drag queen, who's a traitor, and Dylan Efron are going at it at the round table. And he goes, shut up, Dylan. Your brother isn't even that good of an actor. And then he just goes taken aback. That's and true. Then the internet has clipped, like, you think this guy isn't a good actor? And it's like him doing Bet on It, him doing Hairspray.
Bet on It is his best.
He was in Charlie St. Cloud.
Yeah. I wouldn't flex Charlie St. Cloud, but sure.
Anyway, that's my Traders update. Now when you're out at a bar and someone says, hey, are you guys watching Traders? What do you say?
Danielle's a bitch. And she sucks. She
She's
sucks.
A terrible traitor.
Should I not call her a bitch? Or is that like a funny, like, I'm in the know, I called her something?
I think just say she's a terrible traitor and she sucks. And she's terrible at playing the game.
All right, I can work with that too.
Okay, great. See, I'm helping you get ahead. What else do we want to talk about, Colin, before we get into Oscar stuff?
Iowa Debris. Did you see the?
Oh yes.
I know your favorite character of all time, Barney, is getting a movie.
It makes so much sense. I'm actually so here for it.
Do you want to explain your Barney trauma in any way?
I don't think it's trauma. But I just hung out with Barney at Heidi Klum's Halloween party. And so I got to hang out with... Yeah, we're best friends. Barney and I partied all night long at Heidi Klum's Halloween party this past year. I'm in the New York Times, no big deal, right next to Barney. And he's my best friend. And I love him. And we hung out and we ate sandwiches and juice boxes together.
Congratulations.
You're laughing. Thank you.
But yes, Iowa Debris from The Bear is writing and going to star in the live-action Barney movie from A24, and Daniel Kaluuya's production company is producing it as well.
I love it.
There was originally I know Daniel Kaluuya has been attached for a while, but I guess he's just producing it now. He's not going to star in it as well. But yeah, Mattel is making another movie after the Barney success. I think they also are making some other crazy movies,
Doing a Polly Pocket movie with Greta.
I think they're doing a Matchbox movie or something like that.
Hot Wheels or Matchbox, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have this weird suspicion that it's going to be like a horror movie. Why do I think this is going to be like a Barney horror movie?
I feel like it can't be, just because
I know
it's
it
going
can't
to
be
attract
because it's
kids.
like Barney.
But I think you hire Io Debris if you're doing something meta, and they're going to definitely try and replicate Barbie. And so it's going to be what if Barney is in the real world and whatever, or something like that. I don't know. I think this made me interested, so congrats to them. And A24,
baby.
which is just weird.
I love it.
But yeah, but it's also funny because when I first read the news, I've become so used to these headlines and these news stories about random ass IP being adapted. And I saw this headline, and my first thought was just, oh yeah, that makes sense. Which I just think is funny, because I'm like, that's
Me too, actually.
Why is that the case? But yeah, Io Debris,
Are we jaded
weird
people?
A24 Barney the Dinosaur movie, sure.
But I think a lot of people, from what I've talked to people today, a lot of people were like, yeah, okay, let's go, when they saw the headline. So, yeah, exactly.
And then, real quick, before we talk about the Oscars, I want to talk about Greta Gerwig and what's happening with the Narnia movie, which got confirmed to get an IMAX release, which is odd because it's a Netflix movie who famously do not want to do theatrical movies. But Greta Gerwig won that fight. But now the wrinkle is that movie studios are apparently, quote, furious with IMAX for releasing Narnia in theaters for Netflix. And that they're saying that some movie theater chains are so angry that they don't plan to play the film on their IMAX screens. But get this, IMAX says they have a, quote, nuclear option to ensure they cooperate. So what does that mean?
Wait, but also, I get maybe that they wouldn't play their movies in IMAX, but if is this movie going to be shot in IMAX? This Narnia movie? Okay. Then I'm fine with it. I don't care.
The point of it, yeah.
Again, I'd rather go see a movie in the theater than sit at home and watch it on Netflix. I'm going to be on my phone.
Right. I think for the consumer, for us, this is a no-brainer. Yeah, put it into IMAX. But I think it's interesting that the theater chains are mad about it.
Yeah, they won't play it.
Because they're saying that by playing a Netflix movie in your theater, you're rewarding Netflix, I guess, and
Netflix is taking money away from them going
Netflix,
to the movies.
Which theoretically is the direct competitor to the movie theater, because Netflix's whole motto is, why go out when you can stay in, kind of thing. Watch Netflix. Don't leave to go to the movie theater. So that's odd, but I think they're going to do their nuclear option. And I don't know what that is. Is that literally the nuke that is from Oppenheimer? I don't know.
I was actually thinking of the button that Josh Peck presses. Yeah.
It's so great that Josh Peck gets that moment in Oppenheimer where more or less he's just behind the scenes, but then all of a sudden it's he's the button guy. That's Josh.
It's Josh.
Spherical.
And Christopher Nolan has never seen Drake and Josh. Emphasis.
Oh, I love Drake and Josh. All right, should we move on?
Yeah. What if Christopher Nolan's a huge Drake and Josh fan?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he's a huge fan of the Santa Claus, and that's why he cast David Krumholtz. Or he cast the Devin Bostic from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. He played Roderick.
Got it. Never saw it.
I read that book.
Wow. Congratulations. Did you read Narnia? Chronicles of Narnia? Oh my God. Those early movies, though, Colin.
They're pretty good. The first one was good.
those were like very important to me.
James
Like I cried.
McAvoy, Tilda Swinton,
Tilda Swinton, the really young blonde kid that I had a crush on,
Liam
played the older
Neeson's
brother.
the lion, right?
Yeah, I loved him.
Maybe I should revisit that movie.
Yeah, there's two.
Apparently, these new Narnia movies are going to be like a new take or whatever, but I don't know if she's going to readapt the same Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't know.
I mean, Narnia is like prime for. I mean, there's so much symbolism
Didn't
in
they get
those
like
books.
3 movies or 2 movies?
Yeah, two. Pretty sure.
The Prince Caspian? Is that it?
Caspian.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow.
I know. Well, I know ball, all right?
Doesn't
So
read
easy.
books, but pretends he does.
They're movies. I'm the movie
That's why
guy. We've been
movies
over
exist.
this. Christ. All right, let's move on. Let's talk
Lord.
Oscars.
All right.
Well, first, let's talk SAG.
Yeah.
So, did you watch the SAG Awards?
I watched it for the first hour,
Okay.
and then I watched White Lotus.
I thought it was a pretty good show, honestly.
I liked how tight it was because obviously it's only acting noms, but it felt really well paced. Where I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I'm also very
We've seen a
pro
lot.
clips. I like when there's clips at my movie award shows. So I like that they, for the actors, had like big clips. I also like when they introduce the movie and they do like a little montage for the movie, which they did for Amelia Perez and did not show Amelia Perez at all, which I thought was hilarious.
That was very evident on
she's
Netflix.
gonna be at the
A
Oscars.
Netflix stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
on a
saw
Netflix
that.
stream too. That is crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But Netflix is apparently paying for her to be at the Oscars or paying for her to get there. But it's unclear.
Oh, they are paying for her travel.
I bet you there was some sort of contractual thing, and that's why they're doing it.
Yeah. Probably.
But I don't know if she's going to be at the table with Zoe and Selena Gomez. But yeah, it was a good show. The biggest, I guess, news of the SAG Awards was ultimately probably 2 things. One, Timothée Chalamet, who gave
huge.
the best speech ever of all time when he won Best Actor, beating Adrian Brody. And like, it got me fired up. He was just like, I want to be
that's
one
on
of
your
the
pump up
greats.
playlist.
Because it's awesome. It's great. He get
He
up on
quotes
stage
Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps.
and he says like he wants to be one of the greats, like Daniel Day-Lewis and Viola Davis. Like even just saying Viola Davis is like, you're a king for that. Like putting her in that category too. And just, it's cool to see someone like want to win and want to be the best. Not necessarily want to win, but just want to be one of the great actors. Like, we don't have a lot of young movie stars that are really dedicated to that. And so I'm all
the youngest
in
guy to win.
on Chalamet.
He's the youngest guy to win a SAG award.
I think
Youngest
so.
actor.
We'll get to this, but it's going to affect the Oscar race, and I think I'm probably leaning Chalamet.
Well, I read the Variety did their ghost voters, where it's like anonymous voters. They pooled like a sample sale. Oh my God. A sampling. And it was very shocking for me. There was a lot of Timothée Chalamet. There was a lot of Monica.
I don't put a lot of weight into those things.
I know,
'cause
but
just like,
it's just interesting to see their mindset.
the
but
one thing I
then
did take away from that article was the Chalamet Dune voters thing, where the writer said that a lot of people who are Dune fans that are voting for Dune in Best Picture are more inclined to vote for Chalamet in Best Actor out of like some kind of solidarity,
Makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
Well, and then the next thing we should talk about is the ensemble win. I think that was
Yes.
your number 2.
Yes. So Conclave winning Best Ensemble, which is the SAG equivalent of Best Picture. Quite the wrinkle. So I think this puts Conclave pretty firmly into the maybe number 2 Best Picture.
Yeah.
I think this bumps The Brutalist, and I don't think The Brutalist has a chance of winning now. I think it's done.
Wow. So you think it's between Conclave and Anora?
Yeah, and so like this all comes down to the preferential ballot system.
Yeah.
Which I feel like for the first time in a really long time, the Best Picture race is a coin toss. And I really don't know what's going to happen.
Can I say?
I guess Anora?
Can I say? Have you heard about the real life Pope?
Yeah.
That he's about to die? And that we might actually have a conclave. And everyone is like, there's no better film marketing and PR stunt than the Pope actually dying right before conclave goes up for Best Picture. Like, people are like, who at Searchlight, slipped the Pope a little something in his drink or whatever. Yeah.
This campaign season has been brutal. They're killing the Pope.
You're killing the Pope.
Promote a movie.
Everyone is like, loving it though, and I think it would help conclave, honestly, because now everyone's like, I'm in charge of this conclave.
But
that was my
Oscar voting is closed.
I know.
So the race, ultimately, the SAG results don't impact anything.
Yeah.
But I guess another big thing was Zoe Saldana winning, and that was obviously voting took place well after the Carla Sofia Gascon tweets and all that stuff. So it looks like she's on her way to win. Kieran Culkin's definitely going to win.
His speech was great.
His speech was very funny.
And it's only he could do it, though.
And he jinxed Adrian Brody.
Yeah, definitely. That was the first thing I texted you. When I saw that in notes, I said, Kieran jinxed Adrian.
Yeah. And then I guess Mikey Madison and Demi Moore is still up for debate, just because Mikey Madison won the BAFTA for Best Actress, but Demi Moore won the SAG. Maybe I'm just too, in my heart of hearts, believing that Mikey Madison is going to win because I want her to win. But I do think that if Anora is going to win Best Picture, I still feel like there's a correlation there where Mikey Madison could win.
Okay, so let's go through the big 5 categories.
Okay.
Six. Let's go through 6. Supporting actor, lock Kieran.
Yep.
Supporting actress, lock Zoe. Are we locking that in?
I'm locking it in. I'm saying the SAG win is enough for me to say that we're not going to get some crazy upset. I know, that article mentioned Monica Barbaro and Isabella Rossellini getting votes, but I still think that's just small sample size. I feel like Monica all of a sudden has been everywhere in the past week, and I feel like it's been too late. She should have been everywhere. She should have been dating Andrew Garfield 2 months ago. She should have done her Letterboxd 4 2 months ago, because I saw that this morning.
Yes!
And she put Shaun of the Dead, my favorite movie of all time, in her top 4. So.
And she was like, I don't want to be pretentious. This isn't film school. These are about movies that you like to watch. And I was like, my girl.
Yeah, no, she had an absolutely great video that for Letterboxd.
Yeah. Sidebar: I did update my 4 Letterboxd, and Devil Wears Prada got added to the list.
Oh, I wouldn't think that for you, but I guess it is of your vibe.
As I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is kind of fundamental to me.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy for you.
When I went to the Condé Nast building, I said, where's the closet? I was like, I need to know where the 2 desks are, kind of thing. Anyway, getting off tangent. So we're locking in Zoe.
Yes.
Actor, who do you have? It's a big one.
Sticking with my guns, what I've been saying for the past couple weeks, and the SAG win only confirmed what I was feeling, which is Timothée Chalamet's winning Best Actor. I think people are sick of Adrian Brody and his weeping and his acting and whatever. And Adrian Brody's won an Oscar before. That's important. Mm-hmm.
He was the youngest one to do it until
now, where Chalamet is going to win. I wish that he had an opportunity to get on stage and give a speech before voting closed, because I think that would have secured it. But I still feel that Variety article did influence me a little bit with the point about Dune, Dune voters voting for him. And I just think that I think that's where the momentum is headed. I know he didn't win anything else other than the SAG, but
yeah.
What are you doing? Well, are you locked?
I'm going to just stick with
Brody?
Adrian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Adrian Brody. I think that's how they honor the brutalist and the epic, and him kind of being the face of this movie in a very, he signed on to do this low budget, quick turnaround, interesting 3.5 hour epic. And only he could really do that. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
sticking
wouldn't be
with that.
surprised.
I would be happy though. Like, I love Timmy. I've been on the Timmy train before you, I would just like to say,
That's fair.
which is true.
Actually,
Call
that
Me
might
by
not
Your
be
Name,
true.
Little Women.
I think I was on the
Definitely
Timmy
true.
train before you. No, I was on the Timmy train when he was in Interstellar, and then he was rumored for Spider-Man in Civil War going against Tom Holland. And I was
Okay.
like, it should be Chalamet. He's the best one of them.
Okay. Well,
So-
I was on the Timmy train when he was doing Timmy and rapping Nicki Minaj.
It's not a
No, I'm just kidding.
competition. We equally love our Timmy.
We love our Timmy. I loved
He's
indie
my
art
goat.
house Timmy, and then I loved him in Dune, and I was seated at Wonka opening night. Anyway, no big deal. No big deal. It's not a competition,
But you are going
fine.
Brody.
but I'm going Brody. Club Chalamet don't come for me. I love Timmy. I'd be very happy if he wins, but I'm going Brody. Actress, we know what Colin is going with. Mikey.
Well, I would like to add that before Oscar Sunday, I might change my mind. So
Oh. So this isn't locked? I'm locking shit in.
I'm not locking in my full ballot yet. So I'm not
Okay.
fully, but I will say
He's
don't
like,
know.
I have money on Mikey Madison. I like the Demi Moore storyline.
I think
The Substance is a really cool movie, and horror's getting now recognition at the Oscars.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do Demi Moore. I think I'm gonna hedge
Whoa.
my emotions and literally hedge my bet.
Oh, okay.
Because I think
Well, we'll
okay,
check in.
Demi's
We'll check
won
in with
everything
you
else.
on Sunday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Demi's won everything else except for the BAFTA, and then Fernanda Torres won the Golden Globe for drama because that's
God, I forgot
weird.
about that.
Yes. So Fernanda Torres, I guess, is technically in the conversation, but
Sure.
yeah, I just feel like Mikey never got the momentum that she needed, and I think that it's gonna be. I'm still not over the Jamie Lee Curtis win from a couple years ago, so I feel like this is very similar.
Yeah.
Maybe not that similar, but it's the same kind of concept of a
Who's
legacy
gonna win that
win.
year? Who did everyone want to win that year?
Angela Bassett for Black Panther.
For Black Panther. Yeah.
Which
I've seen
again
that
for a
discussion
Marvel
recently.
movie, but also she is, in my opinion, undeniably better than Jamie Lee Curtis. But
No,
Everything Everywhere All at Once is the better movie.
She made that movie. Angela Bassett.
Yeah, without Chadwick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go Mikey.
oh,
Because I want to show Honora some love, but because I don't know if it's gonna get Best Picture.
that's
but I
what
would
I
like
was.
it to.
I was gonna say by you saying so. Honora gets some love. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, what about Best Director?
Oh gosh. I feel like it's either gonna go with. This is so hard. It's either Sean Baker or Brady Corbet, and I do feel like they are leaning towards Brady Corbet.
I've been
But Sean
picking-
Baker won the DGA.
Yeah, so like I've
So
been
I
picking
feel
Corbett
like
all
maybe it
season
could be-
too. But
Yeah. But Brutalist has been trending down.
it has been like this is again why I don't feel comfortable fully finalizing it. I need like to kind of like consider it a little bit more. But I am gonna say because I've been thinking they would split all season, but now I think the Brutalist momentum is just stalled somehow,
Yeah, it's out.
and so
Yeah.
I think Sean Baker winning the DGA, I'm just gonna follow that as like the directors are voting for Sean Baker, which to me is a little odd. Like I love
I
Honora.
really want to watch. I really want to rewatch Honora. I'm like, because there was a few shots where I was like, oh my god, this shot is
well,
gorgeous.
it's not
Like
necessarily
them
all
walking
about
on
the
the.
shots, you know.
I know,
But
but
because that's what cinematography is for, which I think the
okay.
Brutalist will win. That's where I
Yes.
think the Brutalist will win for sure. Is cinematography, and I think that's
Cinematography.
gonna be its reward ultimately. So I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Sean Baker for director, which then
Okay,
I feel like
I'm
I'm
in
playing my
between
hand
Sean
on
Baker
picture.
or Brady. Yeah, I do think it's Honora or Conclave now for Best Picture.
So what do you?
I was saying it was Honora and Brutalist, but now I think Conclave is. I think it's Honora 1, Conclave 2, Brutalist 3.
That's where I'm at too. Where
Yeah.
there is a weird chance that Honora wins Best Picture without winning any other Oscars. Like that's never happened before, but I think this year is like the most likely that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
But I do think ultimately Honora is going to get director. Wouldn't be shocked on actor. Really rooting for it, or actress. Really rooting for it. And original screenplay, it has a very good chance at winning. It won at the WGA, but theoretically,
adapted screenplay. Sing Sing, give Sing Sing a win, please.
It's gonna be Conclave.
Please.
It's gonna be Conclave. What else? Oh, I have some other Oscar info things or whatever that's happening during the show. So,
hit me.
Hosted by Conan. What do you think of that?
I feel like he's old school, which is good for the Oscars, but I would have loved a more modern host.
I disagree. I think that he's really perfect for it. I don't know. I think, yeah, he's old school, but he's also he's not network television stiff Jimmy Kimmel. And so I think he's
he's not Jimmy Kimmel, but we've had Nikki Glazer, we've had Adie Bryant, we've had Kristen Bell. Like
O'Brien's better than all of those in my opinion. By like a lot.
I think I know he's like a classic comedian, but
he's got the podcast, which is very successful.
Yeah, and everyone loves him.
He knows movies really well,
and everyone knows him in Hollywood, so they're not offended by his jokes.
And he's
right,
in a movie.
I get it.
He was at Sundance promoting some movie that he's in, right? He's got some.
Right, I love that. I love that. I don't know. I want something modern. I want something fun. Get some influencers up there. No,
I think he'll do a really great job. And so we know that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are going to open the show doing a musical number for Wicked, which I think is the right call. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I love that.
I am very anti musical numbers at the Oscars, but I am okay with them when they are songs that actually are from the movies and not just like a random pop song that plays over the credits or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So Wicked, a musical, makes sense. It's
and it's Best Picture.
Yep.
And we don't have to sit through 2 Amelia Perez montages of music.
That's great. But what we are getting, which I'm very confused by, is, and I don't necessarily, I know one of these performers. Doja Cat, I know.
Colin, you're going to know all 3 of these performers.
Who is Lisa?
Lisa is part of Blackpink, who is in The White Lotus. She plays the Taiwanese girl that works at the hotel that has a thing with
the security guard. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's Ray with an E?
Ray is a Grammy awarded Best New Artist at the Grammys, and she sang that really gorgeous song, Oscar winning Tears. She was barefoot. She had the cord around her mic. She was nominated for Best New Artist. She's British.
So what do these
she is
three
like
performers have to do with the Oscars?
She is the new Adele. They have a song together.
Okay, but in the Oscars?
No.
So why are they doing this?
So here's my pitch about it. I like it. 1, Ray has a song called Oscar Winning Tears. Okay? Great song. Okay? Lisa, Blackpink, international. Okay? She's in The White Lotus. TV show. Entertainment. Doja Cat, I don't get it.
I'm just very anti. Okay.
Their song is really good.
This is a movie award show, and I get that not every second of the show can be them giving an award to a movie, but give me more montages, give me more clips, give me more stuff about movies. We don't need these musical numbers that are just like, this feels like a desperate attempt to like try and get people to watch, to try and get these stans to come and watch on Hulu.
Do you think it's because of how good the Grammys did? The Grammys did very well, ratings-wise.
I mean, I'm sure that's it, but as a movie person, I can't stand it.
Oh, yeah? Cinema? You're a big cinema guy? Okay, Jacob Elordi.
Cinema, as
I like to call it. What did he say? He was like, movies or cinema.
I don't remember. It was cinema or whatever. I don't know.
He's just it was the most pretentious thing, but I loved it.
Yeah. What else do we think is gonna happen at the show? What are you expecting?
What am I expecting? Like bits and stuff?
Like okay, maybe I'm not expecting this to happen, but I want it to happen. Where
Yes.
I've told you this is that I want there to be at least some sort of G.I. Jane joke, because Demi Moore is nominated for Best Actress, and she was obviously the star of G.I. Jane, and that is the reason that Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars, is that he made a G.I. Jane joke. He literally says, "I made a G.I. Jane joke," which I think is really funny. So I hope that somehow that is referenced in some way.
Okay. I
It's
like
not-
that. That's funny.
In my perfect world, it's Chris Rock somehow, but I think that Chris Rock doesn't want any part of it. And I think
I think Conan could do that though.
We know the presenters.
No.
I think.
Okay.
But I don't know them. But like I think it was announced, and Chris Rock wasn't one of them. So.
Well, I do think there's going to be a lot of Wicked references. I think there's going to be some holding space memes.
Oh yeah.
Or references. Like I think there's going to be a lot of, Defying Gravity, the riff. I think there's going to be a lot of memes. Toss.
There'll be I'm sure there's gonna be like a joke about the substance, and like Conan takes the substance, and then there's a young Hollywood redhead it boy, whoever that might be. I would have said oh god, what's the guy's name? The actor from Lady Bird, who's like a young redhead kid. Anyway, he hasn't been in a movie in a bunch of years.
I was going to say the guy from Please Don't Destroy from SNL. Yeah.
Oh
SNL.
yeah, well that could be on brand.
Yeah.
Something
That's
like
funny.
that.
I could see that though. Yeah.
They'll definitely do a substance.
They'll
bit.
definitely do a substance rep bit for sure.
They'll probably do a Dune bit of some sort.
Yep. They have to. Why aren't we doing Bob Dylan songs? Like,
That's
it
a
doesn't
good
need
point.
to be Timmy.
You know what they also could have done, which I saw people point out on Twitter, is they could have done a Robbie Williams performance, because Better Man is technically nominated for Best Visual Effects. But also, what I didn't know this because I don't know anything about Robbie Williams or his past, but he was in a boy band.
We're the problem.
And
I didn't know that.
I think Take That. I don't remember. But that's the song in Honora. That's like the anthem of Honora is them. So they could have done like a double header there of Robbie Williams. Like that, you could have looped that in and made it, because that's relevant.
They could be doing that,
cinematically.
Colin. I
But you're
actually
right,
can see
Bob
them doing
Dylan
that.
songs. I mean, they could have had Bob Dylan come out. He's still kicking it. He's still around. He could have done it, or have Chalamet perform. Like, I mean, we had Ryan Gosling perform last year.
Iconic. I still watch that performance just to feel something sometimes.
Oh, jeez. But I want it on the record that my predictions are not finalized, because I already.
Sorry, I forced you.
I've already, since I said Demi Moore, have felt like a pit in my stomach.
Oh my god, it's gonna keep him up at
if
night.
Honora
I'm gonna
wins
get a
Best
text
Picture-
every single hour of just Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore. It's just gonna go back and forth.
If Honora is the most liked movie, how is Mikey Madison not the most liked performance of those five? But is it just Demi Moore Legacy Award plus the fact that that's how the substance is probably going to get rewarded above the line at least?
Right.
So,
But also, isn't her speech at the Golden Globes, everything about her campaign, isn't that also a
narrative.
reference to the substance?
in a way, I mean, like that's the whole movie was semi-referential to Demi Moore's own career, so
Totally.
we'll see. I guess I'll stick with Demi Moore just on the fact that she's won everything else other than the BAFTA, but I'm gonna be so
It's gonna
mad.
eat away
No,
at
I'm not gonna be
him.
mad.
I
I'm
can't
not gonna be mad.
wait.
I will get mad when I get my picks wrong though, because no. This is the weird year. I'm not gonna be upset because in years past, when I've gotten like 21 out of 23 correct or some shit, like those years were too easily predictable. I want to be kept on my toes a little
Controversy.
bit.
Yeah.
And like Chalamet, my Chalamet pick is me trying to be like, oh, I'm ahead of it or whatever.
I'm
and
different.
I think Mikey Madison would also be that, but I think I should only pick one of those two, and I think Chalamet is the obvious.
I think you're overthinking this.
Oh, absolutely, I'm overthinking this. That's what this is. What this is all week, where like I have now that all the precursors have happened, we have all the information.
Right.
Votes are in. Now it's just we sit and we look at that ballot and we're just like, fuck, what are we gonna choose? And I love that for the first time in like a really long time, it's like, shit, what is the best picture? I don't know. I think I might know, but I don't feel confident about it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's going to be great. Colin and I are watching the Oscars together.
Yep.
Location predetermined, but he will be in person, and I will be yelling at him / we will be yelling at the screen together.
It'll be interesting. It'll be a fun time. Yeah. It'll be a good show.
We were talking about, honestly, one of my favorite Oscar moments was when the slap happened.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
And Colin and I just looked at each other and we were like, was that a bit? Like, we didn't believe it. We both were so cynical. We were like, they're doing a joke. That was a fake slap. I thought it was a fake slap for like 10 minutes until Colin went on Twitter. I just loved the
confusion of it, and I loved that the Oscars were like a big there was a big cultural moment happening at the Oscars, which I know it's not a good look for Will Smith or whatever, but like it still was it brought eyeballs to the Oscars, which
and
I think is a win.
But also get your wife's name out my mouth is like a
it was a G.I. Jane joke.
Culture.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
That's my favorite part of the whole thing. I say that all the time for no reason. It was a G.I. Jane joke. So good. I feel so bad for Chris Rock still that he's like associated with that though.
I know.
And like I love that. Well, I don't love, but I think it's kind of objectively funny that the general public has kind of just moved on and be like, no, Will Smith, you're good. Like, we'll go see your next Bad Boys movie. You're cool.
Will Smith literally makes one reference in Bad Boys 3 or whatever, Bad Boys 5, whatever, 4. Okay, I said the wrong number. Bad Boys 4, and everyone was like, we're good. He's funny. He gets it.
He's in on
We're
it.
in. Yeah.
He is
The
normal.
joke was great. The joke was great.
Yeah, it was subtle. Was
it?
Yeah, you just get slapped in the face by Martin Lawrence or whatever. It's like, that's good. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Anything
else we want to talk about before I see you in person and I force you to watch the Titanic and then the Oscars together?
I guess not. I'm excited to do the Titanic drinking game or whatever. Especially since I don't think I've seen Titanic from beginning to end all the way through consecutively before.
That's great. That's honestly perfect. And now you just need to know, are you Team Jack or Team Rose?
I'm Team Billy Zane.
No.
Why can't I be Team Billy Zane?
Because you need to pick one, and then every time they say their name, you drink. That's the game. Because, sometimes, well, you haven't seen the movie, but when she's on the raft, the door, where there's space for another person,
clearly
she's just saying, Jack.
So is this going to be the end of the movie, me chugging my drink?
If you're Team Jack. But then there's other parts where she's like, I love you, Rose.
I'm in. You had me
Young
with
Leo.
Drinking Game, so.
Yeah, Drinking Game to an iconic movie. He's in.
Okay, so if we're doing Timothée Chalamet is young Leo, has he had his Titanic yet? Is Dune his Titanic? Is A Complete Unknown his Titanic?
Is Little Women his... No.
I'm thinking, Titanic box office wise, so it might be...
Okay, might be Dune.
Dune/Dune Part 2.
I think maybe if Dune Messiah does...
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what era is Timothée Chalamet in? Where, so, like, okay, maybe he hasn't had his Titanic.
I don't think he has his Titanic
yet. But I feel like he is in his, like, Catch Me If You Can kind of era of Leo movies. like The Aviator and Catch Me If You Can, and then I think we're getting close to The Departed.
Yeah. I
Where,
can't
like,
wait
he's
for
gonna be
Departed
doing,
there.
like, not just like young man roles, but like man roles, if that makes sense.
Man rules. Yeah. That's why I think Dune, I don't know, maybe Dune Part 2 is his Titanic. Because he's working with the filmmaker, it's sci-fi. I mean,
But like I think there's a lot of comps to his early career as well, with like young Leo, with like Romeo and Juliet Leo, and like
yeah. I think Romeo and Juliet Leo is Little Women, Call Me by Your Name, Lady Bird
Gilbert
Leo,
Grape.
or Timmy.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, we forget that he's in that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great in Lady Bird.
Yeah. And he's great in Interstellar.
Very small role in Interstellar. Admittedly, he doesn't do a whole lot. Like, his character only gets interesting when he turns into Casey Affleck, which you never want from your character.
He was just happy to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Timmy. Alrighty. Well, we're very excited about Titanic, very excited about the Oscars.
Next episode,
and I'm gonna
Oscars.
harass Colin on his picks all week.
Harassing my picks.
Harassing.
All right.
We need to get a locked pick. Alrighty.
It'll be locked. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Now give your plugs that you like to do as a YouTube guy.
Smash that bell for notifications. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you want to help. I don't know, because I think YouTubers get like more money per comment or whatever. So I think that's, or like all these things are factors, right? Where like
totally.
subscribers, I think they even get more money if more people have clicked the bell, or maybe they don't. Maybe just the clicking of the bell is just to make sure people watch their videos, which then gets them more money.
Bell is to get notifications for when the next episode drops.
Right. Yeah. So,
okay, look at us figuring out YouTube. The YouTube. Hello, can someone please connect me to the YouTube?
Yeah. That's the Selena Gomez
What's
Cinderella
it called?
story.
Another Cinderella story.
But yes,
Great one.
Leave a comment down below. Tell us something. I don't know. See, like, what are they supposed to comment?
Well, one, we messed up who was in 90210. We never got there.
Oh yeah,
See,
leave a comment. Who was in 90210? Leave an angry comment. Oh, forget. That's what we gotta start doing. We gotta start doing engagement bait, where it's like, oh, we don't know.
Angry Star Wars fans.
Yeah, these idiot podcasters don't even know who was in 90210. They're so these Gen Z, blah, 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 blah. And then we get people triggered, and then that leads to more clicks, more engagement, more money.
And then we could do a rewatchables of 90210, and Colin and I can watch 90210 together.
That's what
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Sure.
For the bit, that would be funny.
All right.
And then also Oscar picks. We're
Oscar
ready. We're
picks.
excited. Big week.
We're locking them in.
Big week. Alrighty. See you later, alligator.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.